If you love what we do, then please consider supporting Kritfayle on Patreon. Your support helps us grow and to create more content more often. And now, on with the show. So inside, it's expensive. It's open pan. The only walls seem to be to like the bedrooms. The rest of it's all open. There is a sort of raised area at the far side, which is like a mini office. And there is a guy in maybe his 50s sitting behind the desk. He is jacked in and he is deep diving. Mr. Book is standing in the room with his hands behind his back, and you can make a perception check against 2 purple and a black. Anyone who's looking.
I'm doing it.
Everybody, I'm looking too.
Ooh, I'm really good at perceiving things. Yay.
Very perceptive.
2 purples and a black, right?
2 purples and a black.
Oh, that was a blue. I'm sorry. It didn't do anything, but I'm gonna roll a black now.
Okay.
No! There we go.
Perception.
I failed twice, but I have 2 advantage.
Success.
Success.
Threat. Little girl with the big gun.
Oh dear. Adult, you mean, I'm sure.
Well, in saying that too, there's also a little girl standing next to her without a big gun.
Who was an adult, I thought. Just a minute ago.
Hey, says the 20-year-old.
Hey, I'm not... That's a different game.
Oh yeah, that was... You
don't know how old I am.
No. How old do you look like?
I don't know. I said at some point. Like teens to early 20s? Does that guy look familiar to you?
I don't recognize him.
I'm pretty sure I've seen him on TV.
Really?
Ooh, I know this one. Cipher's got a hand up in the air.
Oh, yes?
That guy.
Yeah?
The guy that's always on TV.
Yeah. I thought he was on TV.
Yep. He's always talking about lowering
crime?
Fighting
Yeah.
crime, doing that sort of thing.
He's on, like, the council or something. He's talks
councilman.
a lot.
Mr. Copperman.
Sounds right. Yeah, that's gotta be him.
Copperman?
Who'd we have before? Amberman?
Amsterdam Man?
Amsterdam Man.
Is that who this is?
Does it look like he's jacked in normally?
How would you jack in abnormally? Like he hasn't wrapped the cord around his throat before plugging it in.
Okay.
What is his name? Marcus?
Marcus
Copperman.
Copperman.
Is that his actual name?
Yep.
Marcus Copperman.
I thought you were being silly because of the way you said it. I was like, is he a cop? What's happening?
Oh, you thought I was saying he was a copper man?
Yeah.
Completely understandable.
Seems like something Cipher would say.
It does.
Alright.
So he's obviously oblivious to our presence.
That is correct.
Is there anyone else in the house? In the room, but we're in a
You
house.
don't hear any other... there's like no noises. It's sort of eerily quiet.
I can go take a look around if you want.
That might be good.
Okay.
Cipher turns to Wren. Yes, go, be all. She's got like her 2 hands up, thiefly and steely.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, Wren's just gonna go start checking rooms to make sure no one else is there.
But don't pick a fight you can't handle.
If anybody wants to fight, I will come back and get you and your gun, okay?
Just give us a shout.
Will do.
Terrence is kind of staring at the guy, and he's like, I don't see it.
I thought there would have been more to this place. Cipher's looking around to see if there's any like cameras or anything.
You don't see any.
I don't watch a lot of TV, though.
So no cameras.
Do you know if there's any cameras in here, Mr. Book?
He
Yep.
has a large pistol in his hand, and he is aiming it at Terry.
Whoa. Okay. Why?
As the thread unravels, all that remains is chaos. That anarchy cannot be given toleration. No more loose ends.
What?
Did Terry just die? Or get shot, at least?
And you feel a tug on your hair, like just next to your neck, and there is a loud thump behind.
Terry flinches a bunch, and then he kind of slowly turns around
And there is
to see what the hell
a
just
big
happened.
red stain starting to make its way across Mr. Copperman's chest.
What the fuck, Book?
Wren's gonna come back because she heard a gunshot.
Why did you do that? Jeez, I'm standing right here.
What is going on?
And
Terrence
Cipher's
is like danced out of the line of fire because fucking Mr. Book is a psychopath. Why are you shooting a guy who is deep diving?
And he says, but it's in Cipher's voice,
dropped her gun.
In the great scheme of things, it's not about the reality of the situation. It's all about sending a message to those that need it.
That don't sound like that.
Yeah, you do.
I'm bothered. I don't like this. What's
Yeah.
happening? Who are you? What is going on?
and he walks past. The second shot went through Copperman's head. There's a big red splash against the rear wall. He drops the gun next to his, like, Mr. Copperman's hand. He takes out a note and puts it on the desk in front. He then walks over to a painting, slides it back, and there's a safe, and he starts unlocking it.
Terrence is staying well back because he is very freaked out.
Yeah.
Me blasted ears are ringing to all buggery. What?
That's what's concerning you most?
Well, between that and the dead guy.
And the dead guy, he almost shot me.
And then he sounded like you. This is all
Yeah,
very
a
bad.
really bad accent.
Alright, Mr. Book. Who is trying to send who a message? Who is this message for? Is it for us?
To reward a child, you give them freedom to explore, but when they corrupt the boundaries, then they need to be reminded what the cost of disobedience will be.
He opens the safe, and he takes a couple of items out. He walks over and he has a envelope that he hands to Terry.
Terry is, like, backed up a little bit as soon as he started walking towards him. Because he's very afraid of this robot, possible human, currently at the moment. And he'll take the envelope, but very warily.
It looks to be a large wad of cash.
I said it once, I'll say it again. What the fuck, Mr. Book?
For the part you have played, your performance on our stage was adequate. Thyself shall see the act, for as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt find justice, more than thou desired.
Justice? I wanted answers. This isn't answers, this is more questions. I came here for the truth.
There lies the rancid, leaky vessel of DNA that is Amsterdam Man. No legacy is as rich as honesty, but truth is a reflected pool of the one looking at it. Who killed your Sally? He resides there.
The truth for why Sally died. It's not necessarily about Sally, it's about the situation she got in. Just because the person who killed her is now apparently dead doesn't mean that other people aren't in danger.
So it is the guardianship of the weak that you seek, from the violations of the impure.
I would prefer to shut down the whole system that is endangering people like that, yeah.
He looks to Cipher, and he holds up a USB.
The box of Pandora. Once opened, it can never again be sealed. But once all the demons have fled, does hope remain within?
Cipher's looking at Mr. Book with a raised eyebrow, her head cocked to one side. She's kneeling down, picking up the shotgun. She's got a hand up in her. She's like about to talk, and she stops. Is that what now?
In your hand you will hold every spider who has been preying upon the weak in this colony.
And he points to a second computer over on a desk.
And with it a way to release their secrets and bring their darkness into the light, catching them in their own web.
All the names are on this disc. So I'm confused a little bit, Mr. Book. How do you know this? What role have you played in this? She takes the USB stick out of his hand. Cipher walks over to the computer that Book was pointing to.
I think I have a better question. Who are you?
And he turns and looks at Terry.
Should I begin like David Copperfield? I was born. I grew up. And who do you think I am?
I don't know. I couldn't even begin to guess. I think you're somebody hiding behind a very, very advanced mask, for lack of a better term. I don't think you're actually here. I think this facade you have going on is a very clever boogeyman suit to frighten people, and that you're actually quite far away.
Is the computer switched on already? Or?
And it looks like all it does is send media messages to the news outlets.
Who is but the form following the function of what? Prick us, do we not bleed? Wrong us, shall we not revenge?
Are you a part of Alpha Industries? Like a kind of mediator?
A course corrector would be a more fitting description.
Who is your employer?
As if he would tell us that.
Come not between the dragon and his wrath.
What?
Shit, your employer's a dragon? Oh man, I don't want to deal with a dragon.
I don't think there's a dragon.
Maybe it's a dragon with a badge.
What?
A cop dragon.
Cop dragon?
Is it by any chance a copper?
A copper dragon.
Copper dragon.
Wasn't
Aren't the
that funny?
metallic ones supposed to be good? Anyway.
If I don't see Booklore laughing.
Indeed, Cipher, your hilarity knows no boundaries as I struggle to contain myself.
Terrence is in like mild hysterics at this point.
That's why anyone's laughing, I feel.
He's losing it a little bit.
Don't blame yourself. Don't blame your shelf, Mr. Book.
What? No.
That was horrible.
I'm choking and dying.
Oh, don't do that! Choking and dying is not allowed.
Alright, when Terrence is done having his mild hysteric fit, he's like, okay. So, Mr. Copperman, was he the source of the disappearances and deaths of the kids just trying to get by with school and such?
The spider at the center of the web.
So that won't happen anymore.
The devil still has his demons. They have resided in darkness. They have preyed on the weak with impunity granted through the corruption in the system.
But we have, or I should say, Cipher has the information chip with
She's
the
waving
cell
it.
information on it.
She's waving it at Terry.
The flooding of secrets into the media will be impossible for them to ignore. And Lone Star will finally be forced to act in an attempt to save themselves.
Lone Star was in on this.
Lone Star is the city. Amsterdam Man is the city.
It's a funny way to commit suicide, shooting yourself in the chest and then the head.
A message must be unhindered in its clarity if it is to be understood. The removal of this cancer will provide opportunities.
And she looks at Mr. Book and she says, so clearly it's your employer who has more of an interest in this.
Your employer wouldn't have cared about any of this if Mr. Copperman had done it the right way.
The land is covered by the thinking intolerant, those who stumble through their failed lives concerned only where their next drink will come from, or the next vessel to throw themselves at in a hope to starve off examining their own inadequacies. We care not for them.
Oh, good.
So he is a dragon.
Something terrifying anyway.
Have we by any chance met your employer before?
You have not.
Alright.
Oh, he's your friend.
Terrence is counting the money in the envelope.
Interest in your careers, however.
Oh.
Why is that?
You have proven to be dogged in your resourcefulness.
Hey, I'm not a dog.
It's not what that means, Cipher.
What does it mean?
Like you keep at things. Persistent.
Ah, annoyance.
Sure.
Well, in any case, whatever the hell happened here will all be for nothing unless we upload that information to the news sites. Cipher, do you think you can do that?
I can do it anytime you want me to do it. I vote. Yeah, if you want to poke the hornet's nest, then let's poke the hornet's nest.
Well, you could just take the laptop with you, right?
Uh,
Or do you want... Oh, no, we should leave it here. It's...
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be like, Mr. Copperman here, in a fit of depression, decided to spill the beans on everything and then shoot himself in the chest and then in the head.
Yeah, that classic shoot yourself twice suicide.
And then steal your own laptop and hide it somewhere.
Yeah, break into your own safe.
And as she plugs the USB stick into the computer, I'm assuming it's a desktop.
And there's like about 30 folders.
Can I look inside
Yep.
the folders?
And there's names, images, dates.
Probably a lot which doesn't make sense.
Yep. But some of it does. Some of it's quite horrible.
So there's on the computer, you said it was set up to email.
Yeah, it's like you basically can upload files, and that's designed to go to. It's when the council and the city is going to be doing like news releases and stuff like that. It wouldn't come.
Okay.
So it's only designed to do one thing, but that's what it does. So you just select all, and then.
Yep. Message heading. Cipher's looking at Terrence.
Terrence is going through, like, the phases of an extreme existential crisis right now. So he doesn't even hear her.
You're trying to make it look like it's from him?
Yep. I just need to write something to tag it, but expose, the truth behind
Confession? I don't know.
confession. That's a good one. The final testament of Sir What's-His-Face.
Yeah, my totally real confession. I absolutely shot myself twice. No need to look into it. Something like that.
I'll leave out the shooting to twice part.
Okay.
Obviously,
Good
Mr.
idea.
Book is going to probably have that looked at a little bit differently. Did you really have to shoot him, though? Man, my ears are still ringing.
Why are your ears ringing? The bullet nearly hit me.
Oh, I didn't want to mention before, but you might want to check your hair, Terry.
What's wrong with my hair?
Nothing?
What?
His eyes narrow a lot.
You might have lost a few as the bullet went past.
He kind of, like, sticks his chin out a little bit and then does this weird kind of swerving wobble to go elsewhere in the house to find a washroom with a mirror in it. And he looks at his hair. And there seems to be a very small spot that looks a bit singed, I guess. And he comes back, and he stares at Mr. Book. And he opens his mouth, and then he closes it, and then he opens it again, and then he closes it. He looks very angry, like he's forgotten how to breathe and how to blink at the same time. And then finally he says, "What are the chances that we ever have to deal with you again?"
I'm saying pretty good if his employer has taken a little bit of an interest in us.
Unfortunately.
Doesn't mean his employer has to send him. Look at what he did to my hair!
It looks fine.
There, you might want to pick up those couple of bits on the floor too, by the way.
And do what? Glue them back on?
Well, you don't want to leave it here for evidence.
Oh, that fine.
Cipher hits send.
And there's a bar as it's uploading.
Terrence goes over and he picks up all of the hairs he can see on the ground that are his. And then, like, he has them in his hand and he turns to Mr. Book and he kind of shakes them at him a little bit. And he's just like, And then he turns around and he leaves the house.
The dam will now breach. They will fall like pawns on a chessboard, yet those pawns were someone's pieces. Retaliation should not be unexpected.
I can't help but feel that this has put us at greater risk, to be honest.
Kind of upset that Terrence left, because if he heard Mr. Book say that, he would have been like, "You did the thing! We didn't wanted answers and you just killed a guy and we were collateral witnesses."
Don't like the sound of that.
So with some of the information, I'll do a quick search on James Morrison while I'm
He's
here.
in there.
Cipher's slapped her head.
Is it?
I'll do a quick search for Sally.
She's in there.
I'll download the Sally. All the Sally files are up, but I'll download them anyway to one of my thumb drives. And James Morrison as well.
What did you find?
That's not what I found. It's what I should have considered before I sent this out.
Oh.
Because now the world knows about Sally, and the world's going to know about James Morrison, amongst others. But the answers that Terry were seeking, I think, are here.
The why? Well, that sounds fantastic.
Okay. Well, we have our answers here.
Time to leave then?
She pulls out a cloth and wipes down the keyboard, wipes down where she's been sitting, and Cipher double checks, makes sure, wipes the thumb drive, make sure to leave it plugged in. It's collected my thumb drive. Progress bar's completed. She turns around, looks at Cipher in the face.
She looks at Cipher in the face?
Looks at herself in the face.
How'd she manage
Sounds
that?
painful.
She looks at Wren.
Uh-huh.
I think we've done all we needed to do here. And this guy more than deserved what he got.
I can believe that. Let's leave.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Walking out to join Terrence outside.
Yep. Unless Mr. Book has anything else cryptic to say.
Oh, he just walks out.
Terrence, so you still got the phone number of the old lady?
Terrence turns to look at you. And he looks wrecked. He's just standing there. He looks very upset. Yeah, I still got her number.
What are you going to tell her?
Well, is I better off coming from her or coming from the news?
fair.
I don't know. I'm asking.
If you're gonna tell his mother, shouldn't we talk to Sally's grandmother as well?
If I had have thought about it, I could have. Oh yes, Sally's grandmother. Oh my god. Oh, Cypher's like rubbing her face, and she's like, "Fuck."
Terrence has dialed Mrs. Morrison's number and just handed the phone to Cipher.
Cypher's the only one who knows the information.
Cypher's. Actually, that's exactly what she's going to do.
Wren's passing it right back because Wren doesn't know anything.
Cypher's got her ear on the phone.
Hello?
Mrs. Morrison,
Yes?
this is the detectives that were visiting you earlier today. I just wanted to inform you that your son hasn't passed away, but we found the killer, and the killer's going to be brought to justice.
And there's like a big pause.
I know this must be a very hard time for you, and that's probably something that you would have considered over the last 2 years. But rest assured, this bastard's gonna pay.
Thank you. I've known, I think. But thank you for doing what the law had not.
And Cipher hangs up.
Wren's looking really impressed with Cipher, actually.
Terrence just kind of nods. He still doesn't seem capable of mustering any outward emotion.
What do we do now?
Cold indeed and labour lost. Then farewell heat, and welcome frost.
And Mr. Book is gone.
How do you do that? I don't like it.
Wait, what? There's magic in this world?
Yes? Harry does magic?
Terrence kind of glares at you. And then he's going to go over to the pond and he is going to try and detect what kind of spell just happened. Would that be my conjuring or my sorcery? Okay, alright. We'll then use my sorcery. What is... Okay. Well, that's not bad.
I think...
How many
2.
purples?
Doesn't have to be particularly hard.
I know nothing.
Oh no. But there's advantage. Do you think he practices saying creepy stuff?
I'm not entirely sure he's human.
For a person with a name like that, he's definitely hard to read.
Haven't you done that one already, Cipher?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I've done the shelf. I've done
Yeah.
the read.
Yeah, what's left? Something about a spine.
Paper cut? I haven't done paper cut yet.
What? How can you work in a paper cut? He just shoots people. That's a lot worse than a paper cut.
Well, I didn't get the phone number for Sally's
That's right.
grandmother, but I bet you anything Mr. Funnyman has it. Do you want to go back?
We probably should.
What's red?
What do you mean, what's red?
Lots of things are red.
How do I roll a red?
Oh,
Oh!
S.
S is
No,
a
S is
setback.
strange.
That's
That's
black.
Oh, separate.
R, isn't it?
Try R.
Is it
Yeah.
R? Okay.
Thought Cipher was just asking for a list of things that were red.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Tomatoes.
Okay, yeah.
Success
Triumph. Yeah.
and a triumph.
Okay, you do that.
Ooh,
You do what you were
wow.
trying to do.
awesome.
Oh.
What
okay.
is Cipher doing?
You might find out, but Cypher's
Okay.
doing something
Oh,
on her
good.
computer.
Oh, okay.
Doing something
Yeah,
triumphantly.
she's got this like really evil grin on her face, and I was like, "I'll screw you, you fucker."
She started cackling out of nowhere.
That's a little worrying too. Not as scary as, creepy robot man, obviously, but concerning.
She closes the lid on laptop. What's done is done.
Okay.
Now let's cut to the chase and get home. Bazinga!
What?
Let's paper cut to the chase and
Oh,
get
okay.
home.
Okay.
I'm thirsty. And Terrence has got a wad full of cash.
Yeah, you're not spending that all on alcohol.
Should we call in the dead guy?
What? Oh. Probably not.
Probably not. Why is Terrence over at the pond?
Checking out the scary magic ripples.
He comes back over to you guys and he pulls out the envelope again and he hands both of you 6,250 of the money each. He's divided it into 4 basically. He kept one aside for Fennyman just
Yeah.
in case. Not that this was a job that we did for Fennyman, so he's kind of on the fence about whether or not to share, but Fennyman also gets us our jobs, so...
We weren't even really paid. It was more just scary robot guy did some robbery.
Shall we go back and inform the boss?
Yep.
Yeah.
And see if he has Sally's grandmother's phone number.
I'm sure he wants to know as well.
George!
Are you just saying this aloud? Are you
Yes.
trying to summon him?
There's been lots of magic. Maybe the cab will appear.
George!
Oh, jeez.
George, you need to get that scene to it sounding sicker.
He's not actually here.
Cipher. Cipher is now, all the stuff is finally caught up, and Cipher starts to lose her mind.
Cyber's just talking to the air.
What? He's not here. What was that? What was that? What the fuck was that horn sound?
Again, have you been drinking from that flask of yours?
Not in the last 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
So, while we were inside during the murder and the robbery and the whatnot, you were just...
Well, geez, before you upload that much information, you got to take a little bit of a swig.
Terrence starts walking up the way to where they last saw George.
Wait.
And he's still there.
Oh, good.
Terrence gets in.
Cipher gets in.
Yeah, Wren's getting in and looking very pleased to be leaving.
We need to go back to the bar, George.
Right you are. So it's done then? Whatever it was you were doing?
Hopefully.
More than we ever bargained for.
Nope. I think it's
No.
just begun.
Oh, don't say that.
Alright, to be honest, guys, some of the stuff on there is a little bit more disturbing than I'd like to admit. So don't be shocked if there's repercussions from this. I've hidden our tracks as best I can,
Thank you.
but someone's going to want payback.
What kind of repercussions are you talking about?
We're talking about a major crime syndicate. They're not just going to go, oh, they did this little poor bad things against us and we're just going to lay over now and just really be good. No, they're going to be like, we're fucking pissed off and we're going to get whoever did this to us. Kind of.
Don't like that. Don't like any of this.
I will worry about that tomorrow after I have tried very hard to erase this day from my memory.
If
Wait.
you figure out how, please let me know.
Alcohol.
Oh. Huh.
When we get back to the Oh fuck you.
What?
The
Did
place.
you forget the name?
The name.
You forgot the name. Okay.
Cornerstones.
I knew it was on a corner.
I think Cipher just needs to start getting tattoos of names.
What a fucking good idea. I'm writing that one down. Tattooed.
Just on her arm, it just says George Cornerstones. Whatever else she has to
Lambert.
remember. Don't
Terrence.
break into my neighbor's apartment.
Lambert.
Terry
Wren.
pulls out a permanent marker from his bag and hands it to her.
So you walk in, and they're all watching the big screen. Mr. Fenneman just looks at you, one eyebrow raised.
Yeah.
Terry orders an entire bottle of whiskey for himself.
And the barman gives it to you.
Are you gonna fix Fenneman up?
We should let him know.
As she's nodding towards Fenneman and sort of like indicating with the money with the fingers.
Terrence kind of like you've said this halfway through a swig he's taking directly from the bottle. And he's like, yeah, we gotta go tell him what happened anyway. I'd prefer to do it in privacy though, so we gotta ask him for office space. Come on.
Alright.
Terrence puts on this hideous fake smile and he's like, Mr. Fenneman, we have some serious business we need to talk to you about in private.
Alright.
And just to be, just to make it clear, it's not me.
I mean, you were there.
Cipher, I've known you for a while now. Every time you've said to me it's not me, it's always you.
But this time it wasn't me.
To be fair, she usually doesn't fuck it up this bad.
It really... Yeah, it wasn't her.
We, lead the way, Mr. Fenneman.
And he goes into the back room that you've used before.
So do either of you want to tell the story, or...?
I mean... Cipher, you know the most details, right?
See, last thing I remember, you were going to see some lady about her missing kid.
We did.
It was.
Not really.
Well, sort of.
We were like puppets. We were a puppet. Oh. Here's your cut of our extreme puppetry. And he hands Mr. Fenneman his quarter of the earnings, quote
It's a
unquote.
nice gesture, but I think we can give it to the missing kids folks, eh?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Oh,
Ye-
yeah, we wanted Sally's grandmother's number.
So we should be quick and get that
I
out
can do that if you want.
now.
Please.
Well, we found a killer. We didn't get much out of him.
Nothing.
But Mr. Book basically bled him dry before we could get to him.
We were in the room for less than 5 minutes before Mr. Book shot him in the fucking head. Almost through me. I'll take a stand to mention.
We showed up, he shot him, he gave us the money, he gave Cipher the information and said she could release it if she wanted.
I did say I think he knew where this was going.
Seems so.
Still, it's not a bad thing that you did.
Didn't think I'd get dragged kicking and screaming into a murder I didn't plan on committing.
Well, I think in part he was giving you that information as payment. It may...
Yeah, well,
I think his employer could well have used that information to blackmail them. To have pulled quite powerful people in this city under his wing, which would have been easier.
from what Mr. Book said, his employer sounds an awful lot like he wants chaos. And I'm still very bitter about almost getting shot in the neck.
I think his employer is happy with chaos if it will play into his ends.
Yeah, well, I will stay far away from his ends so long as it involves guns pointed in my direction.
Although it sounds like we may not have much of a choice in that regard.
Well, Seattle's a little bit safer for a lot more people, but maybe
not for us.
Well, they might not know who you
I
are,
can live with that. Not yet, anyway.
but I would be careful.
Hopefully it stays that way.
There's a lot of powerful heads rolling. Scumbags, all of them.
Certainly seems to be that way.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't eaten anything since chips.
Terrence takes another swig of his whiskey and says, I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna go home. I'm going to drink. And I'm going to keep drinking until I pass out. And he puts the quarter of the money on Funnyman's desk and he's like, I'm not gonna be in any state to make sure those women get this money, so I'm leaving it in your hands, Mr.
Alright.
Funnyman. And Terrence leaves, and he goes home.
And that's the end, unless anyone wants to do anything.
No. Don't think so.
Cipher is good. She is content knowing that she's done her little bit of dirty work behind the scenes.
Shadowrun, a slice of life adventure in a dystopian future, starring Becca as Terry the Mage, Raveninsane as Cipher the Hacker, and Ghost as the GM. The excellent Shadowrun is produced by Catalyst Game Labs. The Genesys rule set comes from Fantasy Flight Games, and many of the sounds and music comes from Sirenscape, which is an amazing tool for bringing more life to your game table. This has been a Kritfayle production.
Maybe it's the best box in the world.
You just gotta open and toss to the side because you're not going to use it in play.
I don't know. I keep cool boxes.
100 US.
Used.
You'd want to be able to spit and urinate on it and take that, you dirty, dirty $100 US box, you.
I am very confused.
See, there's a reason I don't live in Australia anymore.
What?
How concerned do we need to be?
I've been watching too much Family Guy.
Oh, so very, very concerned.
Is that
I
something?
got it. Oh, goodness.
MySpace account?
Oh, God. That's been dead for ages. Come on.
Hey.
We're not
That
resurrecting
would
that.
be a little strange.
What do they call it now, then?
What do they call what now? They don't call MySpace anything.
Well, is there a Facebook?
There's a Face Space or My Book or
Face Space.
Face.
Face, face.
Face Space.
Face space.
My book.
I think face space is better.
Oh, no.
How many friends do you have on Face Face?
Space.
What?
God's calling me an ass. What's an Advil?
What's
Is
an
that like
Advil?
something you
What's-
hammer
What's the internet? What's an Advil?
when you're making metalwork?
What? Not an anvil.
Panadol. A diazepam.
Ibuprofen.
A painkiller.
A Profen. Okay.
A profen?
Ibuprofen?
What?
It's ibuprofen.
Yeah.
You like skipped a bunch of letters.
A profen.
Cipher bought some of that when he went to Mississauga once.
They're known for it there.
Who's this swagger? What the hell? Where'd that voice come from?
Oh my gosh, I did not make enough coffee for this.
You could never make enough coffee for this.
Oh, what the hell was his name? Manga Man?
Amsterdam Man.
Oh, Amsterdam Man.
Courtesy of Emily.
Oh, that's why that sounded familiar.
And there's part for the blooper reel.
Oh, clearly I'm tired. You'd think I'd remember the name of the fake name of the guy we had to call the police on at work.
Yeah, it was too good to not use as a username.
I'm excited and also terrified. And I can't wait for somebody else to have an arc so I don't have to keep making decisions by myself.
That's number 6, and that will be Wren.
No!
No, but I couldn't use it tonight. But obviously the idea was I'll cut me out and put you in.
Yeah. Okay, now I know.
And now you know why I couldn't tell you, because you were like, why do I have to say that?
And now it's gonna sound really weird that you're criticizing your own accent.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I hope
it
that was good.
Oh, it was.
Oh, it's good.
Yes.
I'm a little bit tired, like my muscles are sore from carrying the weight of the decisions of the entire party,
Sorry.
Really?
Look, have I ever been decisive in my life? No. Is it likely to start now? Also, no.
Oh,